Noon. Ekita erotemata omaketai. Let's go through 9. Let's go through this. Meth hermenua parakalo. Maria ton porton lona. Translate for sense.
It seemed, the wife seemed to the captor
Alasta.
to speak very well
Very good.
for the circumstances.
Kalasta.
And immediately he did these things.
Very good. Kalaroe. Kierku.
On the one hand, the child.
Well, the child, that's fine. The child. Good.
Which or whom?
Mm-hmm.
I forget what that word means, but it's something about
Pharaoh.
he carried.
Very good. He was
He
carrying,
was carrying. Like as
or he was bringing.
as a corpse.
Then to hos. Hos in the future participle.
So
To do something. To bury. To.
okay. Yeah, to bury.
Not to bury,
Not to bury.
but to die.
To put to die.
Put to die.
Yeah. Okay.
This one.
He like showed or gave forth.
He gives over. Gives
Gave
to.
over to his wife.
Very good.
And on the other hand, is that referencing the understood like other child?
Yeah.
And
The one out to
him.
of his own
Is that
being.
being a corpse?
Very good.
He took,
Having taken, right?
taken. I think.
From Tithema, Thesa,
Placed.
Etheka, placed.
He placed in the casket in
In Hawaii.
in which something about the other one.
Well, Vera,
He carried the other one.
he was carrying the other one. Very good. Calero, Maria.
He adorned.
Having adorned, this is
Having
it.
adorned.
Yeah, that's participle. Having adorned.
It. The child.
Yeah.
And adornment.
With the,
In all adornments.
with all the finery, right?
Okay.
To heteru paidos.
What is heteru?
So here, heteron.
Oh, okay. Is that the grade?
So heteron, so what do we see this teros ending? What does that tell us? What kind of ending is that?
Neuter?
No, the teros, the whole thing. Not just not the very fine line, but teros. So, pistoteros, pistotatos. Pistos, pistoteros, pistotatos.
Is that Reduplication.
No, no. So this ending, this o teros ending. Okay, what does that ending tell us? So for example, in this adjective, this epitheton, pistos, pistoteros, pistoteros, and pistotatas. What's the difference between those?
Oh, it's not the superlative,
Mhm.
but the one before that.
Yeah, the one before that. The what? The one of two things. Comparative,
Okay.
right? Comparative. Okay. So we see this. It's the same ending that we have. Okay. As in good, better. Ter is that. Okay. Or in Latin, dexter, sinister. Right? So when it's just heteros like this, this is a third person pronomial expression, the het part, okay? And so it's the heteros, that one of two third person objects, okay? Think of heterogeneous, monogenous, homogeneous, heterogeneous, okay, of other things, okay? All right, so he placed it into the casket in which he was carrying the one of two,
Oh, okay.
okay? All right, the one, and having decorated the child with the entire adornment of the child, the other of two children, okay? Heteros. Okay, continue.
Carrying
Uh-huh.
it, carrying in
Into
the house.
the eremotaton, ton oron.
Oh, the most deserted
Yeah, very good.
of the mountains.
Uh-huh. He tipesa.
He placed it.
He places it, present tense.
Places it.
Aorist, present. Very good. Kalaroi.
In this one, can you say it like that?
Well, as.
As the third day
Uh-huh.
happened to the child, to the exposed child,
Being exposed.
being
Uh-huh.
exposed, the child being exposed. He went into the
Uh-huh.
city.
Uh-huh.
The Bukolos went into the city.
Yeah.
Leaving,
Having left.
having left one of the assistant cowherds
Very good.
to him as a guard.
As a guard, as its guard.
As its guard, not his guard, as its guard.
It could be his because it's masculine,
Okay.
genitive, right?
So
Erkomai,
went,
having gone.
having gone into
Uh-huh.
understood the house of Harpagos.
Uh-huh.
He said
Mhm.
he is ready
Mhm.
to show
Mhm.
forth the corpse of the child.
Very good. Very good. Excellent. Very good. Maria Paracalo.
Having sent
Uh-huh.
Harpagos
Having Harpagus having sent.
having sent um, the most trusted,
Uh-huh.
his most trusted, spear bearers,
The most trusted of his spear
of
bearers.
his spear bearers.
Very good.
He saw
Tia Tuton.
through
Uh-huh.
this
Through them, through
them,
these.
and buried
He buried, very good.
the child
Uh-huh.
of the cat.
Excellent, excellent.
Keep going.
Yep.
And like on the one hand,
And the one
and the one he
having been
having been buried.
uh-huh.
The
So,
one having been buried.
and remember that this is the pluperfect, okay?
Mhm.
On the one hand, the one having been buried, okay? All right. And tone, and then the other one,
The other,
hegune,
the wife,
uh-huh. Etrefa,
raised.
uh-huh. And note that this is the imperfect, was raising, or started to
was
raise.
Started to raise.
Uh-huh.
So
So this one, onomastenta,
this one, name,
uh-huh. Named
named Cyrus.
Cyrus. Who stayed on two-tone?
After them,
After these things.
after these things,
Uh-huh.
um,
And this modifies Paralabusa, and she, having taken the one named Cyrus after these things, she started to rear it, her wife, to Bukulu
of the cat herd.
of the cowherd.
Um,
And she, Femene,
she called,
well, from Tithama,
placed
having placed
the name,
Alo Onoma,
another
uh-huh.
name,
Some other name,
some other name,
I guess, Pooh.
I guess.
It's this literally not I guess, but it introduces that poo,
Mhm.
I suppose, as is reasonable. I mean, they had to call the kid something, right?
Mhm.
Sort of expression. Poo,
Not,
it's like poo. and
not Cyrus.
not Cyrus.
Can we go through that last clause?
Sure.
Okay. Starting with the Kai, Tomer.
Do it.
Me?
Yeah.
And on the
Uh-huh.
one hand,
Yeah.
the one
Tropaithion.
child. Ew. Is that having been buried?
Had been buried.
Had been buried.
So this is from Thopto, right?
Yeah. Okay, so and on the
Thopto.
one hand, the one.
Let's do these. Thopso.
Okay.
Thopso, right? So we have this one right here, Thopso. There's our aorist. Then we remember we looked up the perfect. So oops. Tafa, okay, Tafa, Tethamai, and top thing. Those are our 6 principal parts. So here, this is the perfect passive, okay? So Tethamai. Tethamai. So what do we have here is we take the personal ending off,
Okay.
okay? Now, This one was changed to a mu before another mu, okay? So this is going to be, it's going to stay as a P before a tau, okay? So tethopt. Then we add the third person singular passive ending, secondary ending, to, as in, remember these endings are o main, so, which goes to u, to, o meta, esta, and onto. Okay? So there's our ending. And remember the perfect, the perfect does not have a thematic vowel. Just goes directly on there. So to, thought, te, thought, to. So instead of the primary in the perfect, we use the secondary in the pluperfect. And then we add another temporal augment just to add that other thing on there.
Okay.
Okay, good. All right, so the one had been buried.
the one had been buried on the other, and the other other child,
The other one, Egune,
the wife,
para la bursa,
having taken
having received it, taken it.
his wife, having taken
The other one, onomastenta,
named Cyrus.
Cyrus, Hysteron tutun,
After these things,
after these things, she etrepha.
raised.
She started to raise it.
To raise it.
The wife, tubokulu.
The wife of the cowherd. To raise.
Having given or having set, been given it, an alo onomaputa.
Another name.
Some other name,
Some other name. So
I guess, stands to reason,
then Cyrus. Not Cyrus.
not Cyrus. Okay, so,
Okay.
and on the one hand, the one, understood paideon, had been buried. The other one, the wife of the cowherd, having received it, but it's being called, the one being called Cyrus after these things, she began to rear it.
Okay.
Having placed upon, having given it an alo onoma, a te alo onoma, some other name, who I guess, and not Cyrus.
Okay.
So what do you think? We should, we should give it a name, don't you think?
Which one?
Yeah, let's give it a name, child. Bert.
Can Greek names named in the town?
Nah. But remember, he's a Mede.
True. What's the name for a puppy?
Oh, that's a good question.
Like a baby dog.
Well, what we would do, I mean, one thing to do is to take the word for dog, kuon, right?
Mhm.
And you make a diminutive of it, okay? Which is an eon ending on that. Kunion might be, okay? So kuon. Kuon is the name for dog, kuon. Kunos.
She's
Kunos is the kuon, kuno. I don't know what the accent is. Anyway. So we could take the stem for a dog, okay, and add an eon ending, which is the diminutive, and speak kunion. I don't know if that's what it is really, but we should, it's a possibility.
Okay.
All right, good. All right, so let's start looking at our next one, shall we? Let's tear through it. Wait, is this the right one? Oh, okay, all right, yeah. So now that's the narrative that's within the narrative, right? That's the explanation of how the cowherd came to have the grandson of Astylages, right? So now we're coming back to the regular narrative frame, to the larger, to the next layer of the narrative frame, right? Okay. So, taute legontos to paidos.
These, it's not words, it's these somethings of the child.
Okay, that's right. So we've got what kind of word is this?
Participle.
Participle. And what is its case?
Masculine.
Case?
Oh, sorry.
Genitive.
Genitive.
Genitive absolute.
It's a genitive absolute, okay? All right.
These.
With the child having saying taute,
The child having realized this.
or saying these things.
Oh, I thought it was a totally different word. Okay.
So the
That
child
makes sense.
saying these things. Okay, remember this is the child. And remember, what did he tell Astylages?
That the other children had appointed him to be the king.
Exactly.
The little insolent one would do what he
That's
said.
exactly right. And so I treated him as he needed to be treated. And if I did something wrong, excuse me, I mean, you're the expert king, right? So if I did something wrong, then, well, here I am. I'm ready to be punished. Okay? All right. So when the child was saying these things, okay, and anagnosis, eis ton Astylageia.
And
An anagnosis,
realization
a realization. Okay.
into Astylages into
Uh-huh.
realization.
Realization of this one entered into Astylageia.
Realization. Does he recognize that he's
That's right.
realization of this one? So a realization like concerning the child.
Of the child, yeah. So you can see that anagnosis comes from gignosko, right?
Yeah.
Okay, which is the word we use with ana, to read, right? Anagignosko. And then anagnosis is a recognition. There's another word, anagnoevesos, which is what Aristotle uses in the sort of theatrical context of a recognition, as in Oedipus realizing that he. Yeah. Okay. All right. Good. Okay. So. So what constitutes this anagnosis? Okay. So and toi Astylage,
Is that date?
dative, and two Astylages, ho ta character,
The type or nature of an individual.
the type or nature to prosopu,
Is that like the face?
of the face, yeah,
Okay.
the face.
And to Astylages. Oh, he like actually recognizes his face.
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
The nature
Okay.
of the face.
Seemed
Seemed
to prosperestai eis auton. It seemed to, okay, to, so note that this is middle
Is
passive.
that from there?
It's from Pharaoh, yeah. Prospero.
Is that a infinitive?
Yeah.
To carry toward?
To carry toward, okay. Think of it a little bit more metaphorically.
To like reveal to themselves.
Or to match, or to compare to,
Okay.
okay, to be brought
Oh.
to something,
I see what you're
Okay.
saying.
to eis auton.
To compare to in him,
to himself.
to himself.
So Ostuage is saying, wow, this, he looks a little bit like me, okay?
Acts like it too.
Yeah, and so we've got ta and kai, ta kai, and he hypocrisis.
And the reply
The reply
was,
again, seemed, seemed to be
oh, yeah.
eutherotera.
Well, there's a tear in there,
Yeah,
and there's a U in there.
okay.
I don't know if that's.
Well, we've got what kind of word is that? It's a comparative. Maria is expert on the comparative now, so it's a comparative, okay? Eutheros is the positive, so it goes positive comparative superlative. It's the positive form, it's eutheros.
Isn't that free?
Free. Okay, so here's what the comparative conveys, right? This is a perfect example of the comparative. The comparative can mean like free, freer, freest, right? Okay, but here you can see that the comparative can be used to indicate something that is, we can translate with rather free, okay, or quite free.
So it's comparing to something that's not actually stated. So like freer than like some other kind of response, but not like.
Right, it's,
Okay.
Or we can say very free, and quite free, or rather free, okay? Rather is a comparative part of this, comparative adverb, right, rather. So rather free, okay? I mean, we don't use the comparative in that sense, okay? And often in a pejorative or critical way, okay? Somebody, you're babysitting your niece, right? And she said something impertinent, okay? And you would say, wow, that's quite something, okay? That's quite an expression, okay? So here's where here we see the comparative used in this sense. And his response, his answer, seemed to be quite free. Okay, freer. We would say freer than would be expected for the son of a bukolos, right? Okay, so we've got hota, kai, and then we've got another hota chronos.
And
Uh-huh. The time of the ektheseros, of the ekthesis. Ekthesis, okay.
Is that like exposure?
Exposure, exactly. Okay. This S ending, cis ending, is a regular nominal ending, okay? Think of thesis, parodosis, protosis, and apodosis. This cis ending is a regular nominal ending. So here we've got the stem, the, that was from tithema, okay? Ek, which is the preverb, the stem from tithema, and then we add this cis ending, cis-seos ending, so it's literally the exposure. The exposure, edoke, seemed to sumbainen.
seemed to.
So bino, to
Agree with.
bino, bino. So now we've got, this is
To
another,
go.
to go, okay?
So go with.
To go with or go together,
Okay.
to go together with the elikiai,
The the day,
or the age
the age
to paidos
of the child.
of the child.
Okay.
So see how that works? Well, okay, so he looks a little bit like me. You know, his expression was quite free, you know, and the time of the exposure of the child, exposure, seems to correspond to the age of the child. Because that was about, you know, so many years ago. Okay. Ekplages. See that ending? Ace, accent on the end. What is that? What are we thinking?
Is it a weird tense?
It's not a weird tense.
Is it a weird mood?
It's not a weird mood.
Okay.
Let's look at this right here. This is the accusative, masculine, singular, right? What would the masculine, singular nominative be?
Would it be on a mouse that false?
No, it's this.
Oh.
So this is a what? What kind of word is that?
Is it a participle?
It's a participle.
Is it a house? So,
Yeah,
simple.
aorist passive participle. Okay. So, what is that? It's an aorist passive participle, right? Nominative, masculine, nominative, singular, from ekplaso. We've actually had this word before.
So having been something.
Having been struck, literally struck out, shocked,
Oh,
shocked, okay? Shocked by tutos,
this.
these things. Literally struck, okay? Struck by these things. He was aflongos,
Speechless.
speechless. Okay, what kind of word is this?
Another.
Participle or something.
Another aorist passive participle, right?
Wait, what about epi? Do we translate that part?
Epikronon, we haven't, no. He was flongos, epikronon.
He was shocked in time.
He was shocked by these things. Shocked by these things, he was aflongos, he was speechless, epikronon,
For a time.
for a time. For a time. Literally, actually, literally, for a time.
Okay. Um,
Let's look at the note on enektes. Okay?
That is not what I thought that would have been from.
Oh, okay. Apo to anafero, right?
From bringing up, carry up? Is that what that is?
Yeah, it means to carry up.
Oh,
Carry up. Excuse me. Principal parts of Pharaoh. Pharaoh, oiso, enenkon. Three different verbs constitute the temporal system of the different tenses of that verb, okay? It's like erkomai, ema, and elthon, right? Same situation, right? Three different verbs that constitute the tense system, okay? So essentially what we've got here is, if we take off the temporal augment, okay, we've got n, and then we've got a consonant, depending upon what follows it, okay? It happens to be a gamma when it's followed by a kappa, okay? A neck, okay? And here you can see where, here we have n, ake. If it's followed by a theta, okay? Followed by a theta, what's gonna happen to that gamma? It's going to go to the aspirated version, which is a he. Okay. So enektes.
What does that Yoda do?
Well, it's just one of those. It's actually a lengthening that sometimes happens in the stem of verbs. Okay. In these environments, okay? So it means then having, I carried up, okay? So I carried up. So let's go through this. Idete un to tetaraton kai dekaton anagnosma. You saw in the 14th reading, you saw the 14th reading. Take
your son.
the sun, very good. Ton agaba teton. Can you remember what that
It's been a
was?
while.
Agapao. Take your son, the beloved, the
Yeah.
loved one, whom agapesas, whom you love. Ton
Isaac.
Isaac, okay. And for you, and for you, O my,
And journey.
Eastern gang,
To the land.
the Tain Upsilane, the highland, and
And something to
carry him up
carry him up.
there
And
for a holokarposon.
is that like an altar? or a
Well, this is for an
sacrifice?
offering, for sacrificial
Okay.
offering,
Okay.
okay? F him upon one, ton oraon,
Upon the mountain.
one of the
One of the
mountains,
mountains.
of which
I will
Abo
show you.
I would tell you.
Yeah, because on is the signifier of the change. Okay.
Hutos, hotupos, so this form,
In
the aristoi,
in the aorist.
in the aorist, and pathetike,
Passive.
in the passive aorist, katatain dialekton,
Under,
Kata according to.
according to.
The dialekton ton Anglikon.
The Azalis.
Dialect,
Oh,
the language
oh, right. Of English.
of the English,
Yeah.
means I am brought back
Or
or I am recovered. Okay. We have that expression in or shop or something. We came to my senses, right? I gathered myself, kind of thing. It's an idiomatic expression. Okay. So okay, so mogus, so
with great difficulty.
with great difficulty. At some point, tota, at some point, on an ektes, having gathered himself with some difficulty, at some point, he eva,
He said,
he said,
having gathered, having recovered.
having been gathered, having recovered, literally, having been composed again, right? Having been put together or recovered with some difficulty.
He said,
He said, now, before we get to what he says, we've got some other things, okay? Thelon, from Othello.
Wanting,
What's that?
wanting.
Wanting to ekpemse.
no, that's a new one.
Pempo, to send out. Send artembaria. So wanting to send away artembares, hina, in order that,
Remind me who Artem Bar is again?
remember artembares is the person who has brought his son there, who got injured.
Right.
Artembares.
Okay.
So wanting to send artembares away in order that hina, in order that ton bukolon monon,
That the sun got
the cowherd monon,
the cowherd
alone, the cowherd alone, Laban, having taken the cowherd alone, that he made bas anisei. This is a new verb.
He, wait, having taken the cowherd
He might bas anisei. He might, it means literally
test.
test. Okay? That he might test the cowherd alone. Having gotten him aside, he wanted to test him alone.
I mean, I'd probably want to test him too.
Okay, so let's finish the sentence. Artembares, so here's this is a really just something to where we can see the behavior of the vocative for this kind of artembares, right? The nominative is artembares, right? Artembares. So these nouns that end in eta sigma, okay, we shorten it to epsilon sigma, and the accent moves back. So the same thing, for example, in Zokrates. Zokrates. Okay. There's the same name. Vocative, Zokrates. So, O, Zokrates. So he says, Artembaras.
I
Uh-huh.
do these things.
I will do
I will do these things.
these things. I will do these things so that
So that you and
uh-huh,
your child.
your child
Um,
and the Memphite, that you will have made in nothing
to design.
to complain about, to criticize.
Okay.
Yeah.
Will do.
I will do these things so that you will find no fault, so that your son and you will find no fault.
You and
In other words, I'm going to take care of you.
okay.
Okay, we'll call it a day. Good work. Well done. Marie, remind me where you're from?
New York.
I was just in New York this week.
Oh, really?
So where in New York do you live?
I
Is it
live-
Long Island?
Yeah, I
right?
live on Long Island.
On the north or the southern?
South Shore.
On the South Shore.
Mhm.
I did not live on Long Island. I stayed in Manhattan,
Oh,
but I went to the new PATH station in the World Trade Centers, the Calatrava. Do you know this new station? He's a Spanish designer,
No, I don't think I've
Santiago
seen it.
Calatrava.
My dad works down there though, so.
Does he really? Does he work for New Jersey Transit or what?
No, he works like on Wall Street.
Ah. Santiago Calatrava. There he is. Okay, so let's go to see this. Let's see the new PATH station. There we go. Oh, this is the inside. The transit station. There's the outside.
Wow. Wow.
I have to go there when I go home.
But yeah, no, you totally should. It's really
See you
interesting.
tomorrow.
Okay, see ya.